Hi guys, it's me Liz with 143 Handmade. Welcome. I am working on getting the video up that shows our very first day out at the craft fair. We've now done it twice. Well, my husband and my son went the second time. And but still I'm having trouble editing the video. So, anyways, it is coming. But I wanted to jump back to this. This was a little bag that I started. I'm not sure I showed it on the channel, but I know I mentioned it because this is the bag for my story scroll that I made. My lovely. Let's see, how close can I get and it be clear? Right about there. So yeah, this is the story scroll that I made a while back. I'm not even sure which channel I was inspired by, but if you go back and I'll add the playlist to the description below that shows the whole journey that I took with this story scroll, which I had so much fun doing. Like I had not really done something like this before, and so it was so much fun. Like, I've done all of the different elements, but I'd never, put all of the elements together like this. So that was super fun. And this is just a little note saying, when I finished it, and I signed it. So I actually finished the scroll part, this piece in February, according to my little note there, of last year, of 2024. So, it took me a minute to get the bag done. These things happen. So I'm going to go ahead and roll this guy back up. And you can tell that it doesn't roll completely evenly because some parts are bulkier than others. Just, I'm just loosely rolling it around. Excuse me, this little... my scroll here, my base, a lot of people get a hold of those old spindles, especially over in the UK. You're able to get a hold of old, like I said, spindles, I think is what they're called, but things that look like this, only they're actually made for holding a lot of yarn or string for the textiles market, And we're talking like the massive industrial machines. Okay, and my lady made a pass through. So, but they were getting those, and those are just absolutely gorgeous. But I could not find any in my budget when I went to looking. So, hi, my lady. So I had my son just use our hole saw, and he cut me some ends, and then I don't remember what the center is, honestly. But, so there's that. But the bag, I did in a very, I don't know, an interesting way, like a patchwork way. Like, I had never done anything like this before. We're just kind of, this is all raw edge. These edges are not, pulled over. They will ravel over time. There is cat hair on it, that sort of thing. But, and you can tell, like, I had to bunch it a little bit because my bottom circle was not quite the right size. I'm still working on that, figuring out, and I know there's measurements and charts and things online, but it's still, still figuring that one out, the whole round bottom thing. But I went around and I stitched around most of the squares. You like that one, huh, my lady? So, and then as you can see, I even hand stitched the seam here, and I was actually thinking about going back and adding some more whip stitch to that to secure it, because it does look like that's kind of a loose seam. But I don't know, it's holding nicely, and it just adds to the look, right? Yeah, I think I might leave it. But, so that's what I did, and then it's just lined in this lovely fabric. And then for a closure, I had thought about doing a drawstring, but instead what I did is I really well anchored this bit of elastic to this tiny bit of, thank you, to this tiny bit of fabric. I anchored that together very, very well. And then I anchored that fabric really, really well to the to my bag. And then After I did that, then I tacked the button on the top, which is also anchored very well right over the top of where the knot is for this. So I'm thinking it'll be okay, you know, and this isn't going to get, you know, extreme use or anything. This is a little storage roll. It's going to be opened a couple times a year at most, and the rest of the time it's going to sit in its pretty little bag. So, because unfortunately my littles that I have in my life do not live close by. So, but yeah, and then that way when you go to close it, I just scrunch it all up like that. Wrap this around and pop it over the button. And then I like to flare this out because it just looks prettier. And there we go. So thank you so much for joining me. I can't tell you all how much I appreciate every single minute we spend together. I am working on getting our website up and the craft fair going, and you know, lots of things coming, and I'm doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff this year, and I'm working on getting that set up and then pre-recording for next year, so that way next year, 2026, I can have a much more consistent schedule for you guys, because I know this crazy just dropping a video whenever I manage to get one done is not the most effective way to do this. So I am working on it. It's all in the works. It's all in the plans. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate you.